Hello, everyone. Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live from the North Shore of Oahu. It is December 30th, 2014. Figure we talk about some sales training. It's like 9:10 in the morning, perfect day. 68 degrees outside. We're talking about the anatomy of three bids, okay? So the first thing is the reason why people get three bids is because they're told to. Now, like there's all sorts of governing bodies, especially if you're talking like business to consumer. There's all sorts of governing bodies that say, you know, you should always get three bids. And you know, the people think that that's what's supposed to happen. So, you know, somebody will go out and they're gonna get all these bids, and there's a couple of challenges with this. When you get bids from other people, it's subjective at best. But you know, these governing bodies that tell you to get three bids, they really don't tell you except for you should be comparing price. Well, then that turns your sell into a price issue. So you're gonna have to combat this from the very beginning. So the person says that they're gonna get three bids. My first question is, what are you hoping to get out of that? And the people are like, well, what do you mean? Well, you're gonna get three bids. I mean, when you take a look at it, how are you gonna determine? You're just gonna put them down and you know, go for the lowest price? Or, I mean, is there gonna be a different process to use? And if there is a different process, you know, how are you gonna pattern that? How are you gonna determine? And like, well, I'm not gonna tell you that. Well, then, you know what? There's no reason for me to be here because then I can't help you out. And the people are like, all right, well, then they're gonna give you some weak form of an answer, okay? Now remember, you're gonna have to figure out how to say this for yourself, but just realize that people are told to do this when they go out. All sorts of consumer groups say, hey, you gotta get three bids. And it creates a lot of challenges because for them, it's confusing. They don't know what to look at, and your job is to be a guide and explain to them why that this process may hurt them, but if they're just looking at the price. Because you know what, when it really comes down to it, people aren't really the price shoppers that they think that they are. They'll say drive the cheapest car, buy the cheapest clothes, buy the cheapest butter. It doesn't happen that way. Now, yes, there are some people out there that are extreme cheapskates, and then that's the way that they shop, and they create a lot of challenges for themselves. But for the most part, that this whole process that people hear when the governing body says that this is how you do it, it perpetuates the situation, creates some challenges for you. So you gotta know that you gotta ask why they're doing it and how they're doing it and get their criteria. But you have to do it in your way. You have to ask the way that you're gonna do it, and may not the way that I do it, because it can create some challenges for you, because I like to ask things just straight out, and I let people know that, and I'm letting you know that if I say it here, this is really how I act in real life, okay? So just know that when you're talking about the anatomy of three bids, the first reason that people get them is because they're told to. You gotta find out why they're doing it, because like sometimes people don't wanna get three bids for whatever you do. They just feel like they have to because they were told to. Sometimes you just gotta let them know you don't really have to, right? Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. Subscribe. And you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Google+, Orkut. There's a ton of them. Scott Sylvan Bell. Only Scott Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.